Good afternoon. This is Mr. Coleman with your latest video in the series Maths Revision Outside the Classroom. Today's topic is fractions, and this is suitable for Key Stage 3 and Key Stage 4 as well, so 11 to 16 year olds. Now if we start with adding and subtracting. When we add and subtract fractions, the key thing first of all is to find the lowest common denominator. So for instance, if you've got a half plus a sixth, the lowest common denominator is 6, because 2 and 6 both divide into 6. So you would change the half into 3/6 and then add the other sixth to make 4/6, which cancels down to 2/3. Similarly, if you were doing a half minus a sixth, that would be 3/6 minus 1/6, which is 2/6, or 1/3. When there are mixed numbers involved, if you are adding the fractions, it is best to add the mixed numbers first, the whole number bit first, and then add the fractions separately. So for instance, if you have 3 1/2 plus 2 1/3, you add the whole numbers, 3 plus 2 is 5, and then you have a half plus a third, common denominator of which is 6 once again. A half is 3/6, a third is 2/6, add them together makes 5/6. So the whole answer is 5 5/6. Now if you're subtracting, it's often a good idea to make the fractions top heavy first. So for instance, if you have 3 1/4 minus 2 1/2, then you first of all make the 3 1/4 top heavy to get 3 times 4 plus 1 is 13/4, and the 2 1/2 is 2 times 2 plus 1 is 5/2. Then the common denominator of 4 and 2 is 4, because 4 and 2 both go into 4. So you have 13/4 minus 10/4, which gives you 3/4, or 3/4. So 3 1/4 minus 2 1/2 is 3/4. If you have 1 1/6 minus 5/6, then the 1 1/6 becomes 7/6, and 7/6 minus 5/6 is 2/6, which is 1/3. If you have a whole number involved, on its own it's best to put it over 1. So say you have 3 1/3 minus 2, then that would be 10/3 minus 2/1, and 2/1 is 6/3, so it would be 10/3 minus 6/3, which is 4/3, or 1 1/3. When we multiply or divide fractions, it is also best to make them top heavy when the fractions are mixed. Also, you should look for opportunities to cancel down. You can cancel any top number with any bottom number. That is when you can find a number that divides into either a top or a bottom. So you can cancel like this, like this, like this, like this, but not that and that. So if we start with a fairly easy example, you've got 1/4 times 4/5. 4 goes into 4 once, so you can cancel the 2 4s by 4 to make 1, because there's 1 4 on the top and 1 4 on the bottom. Then the 4s cancel down, so the 1/4 times a fifth times 4/5 becomes 1/1 times 1/5, which is 1/5. If you have 2 1/2 times 3 1/4, then 2 1/2 is 5/2. 3 1/4 is 13 over 4. So you've got 5 over 2 times 13 over 4. Then there is nothing that will cancel. So you just do 5 times 13, multiplying across, is 65. 2 times 4 is 8. 65 over 8 goes 8 and 1/8. So in mixed numbers the answer is 8 and 1/8. If you have a half times 10/11ths, then again you have a situation where you can cancel, because the 2 and the 10 will cancel. 2 into 2 goes 1, 2 into 10 goes 5. So the half times 10/11ths becomes 1 over 1 times 5 over 11. Multiply across, 1 times 5 over 1 times 11 is 5/11ths. Similarly, if you have 3/10 times 15 over 16, there's a number that goes in to 10 and 15. It's 5. So the 3/10 becomes 3 over 2, dividing by 5, and the 15 over 16 becomes 3 over 16. So you've got 3 over 2 times 3 over 16, which becomes 9 over 32, which cannot be simplified. When you're dividing, it's best to remember the rule KFC. So you keep the first fraction the same, you flip the second fraction, change divide to times, and then you cancel. So for instance, if you have a half divided by a quarter, keep the half the same, flip the quarter to 4 over 1, the divide to times, then you can cancel the 2 with a 4, it goes twice and into itself once. Then your answer is 1 times 2 is 2, over 1 times 1 is 1, 2 over 1, which is 2 wholes. Now suppose we have 2 1/2 divided by 1 1/4. Making them top heavy is 5 over 2 divided by 5 over 4. Change the divide to multiply and flip the second fraction. So it becomes 5 over 2 times 4 over 5. The 2 and the 4 cancel by 2 to become 1 and 2. The 5 and the 5 cancel by 5 to become 1 and 1. You then get 1 times 2 on the top, which is 2. 1 times 1 on the bottom, which is 1. 2 over 1 is 2 wholes. So remember, for adding, it's add any whole numbers first, then common denominator to add the two fractions. Making sure that if you have to multiply the denominator by a number, you multiply the numerator by the same number in order to obtain the common denominator. You must have an equivalent fraction. When you are doing subtraction, you need to remember to make the fractions top heavy first and then use the common denominator. When you are multiplying, you also need to make the fractions top heavy first. You look for any opportunity to cancel any top number with any bottom number by dividing both by a number that goes into both. That will then simplify your fractions. Then just multiply the tops and multiply the bottoms. When you are dividing, you do it like multiplication, but you remember KFC. Keep the first one the same, flip the second, change divide to times. Then cancel if you can, as before, and multiply the tops and bottoms to get the answer. Now is the time to go and practice some questions on fractions. Goodbye.